I will call the name of Jesus. That's emoji music. Sibazi kakhulu ngalangoma ithi Elohim nale ithi be lifted ayijonga bangabe yabalandela ithatha ihlaziyeke emphefumulweni 3 minutes before sithi ke insimbi yesibhozo sasama uphuthaphutha ke ulihle King Nqoyi ozakhe ke ahambe nathi ngoline kulo mcimbi wokuzama ukuqokelela nokwenza ubutyebi indyebo man indyebo yes agqibela kudala ke kuthiwa kunyaka wendyebo yho kunyaka wendyebo sibe izinto zonke zichumile zonke izinto zivele zaphuma zaqaqamba asayibaweli ayinakho ibe kunyaka wendyebo no-2021 kodwa ke ukuzibe yiyo funeka siyilungiselele ngoku yeloo nto ke sinabo ke olihle bazawube ke basixhobisa into yobana singayenza njani na ibe ngunyaka wendyebo yhu ligama elikhulu ke liya senjengobutyebi sinangendyebo sinange-wealth asithethi ngoba rich yabona ne sinange-wealth accumulate wealth kangangoko unako apha in the land of the living yayiva accumulate wealth uqonda uba hayi man but remain humble kuko konke onako uzawusibiza tips ke yoba ungazenza njani na because uthi dabi lilapha entloko uthi dabi lisebuchotsheni yoba uqonda uba hayi mna shem andinawukhe ndenze into yoba ndithi break the cycle yapha ekhaya ndenze kangangokuba nango-2085 nango-2095 sendabhubha kube ikhona iloza wamamfene building ebhaliweyo ba 2020 ngo-20 what ne okanye ngo-30 ntontonto hayi ukhokho wakhe lo wakuthiwa wayengumsasazi yes washiye ubutyebi zinto ke funeka sizenzile sixhobisane kwenza into yobana ukwazi into yoba sowungasekho emhlabeni the legacy oshiya ngemva kubekho abantwana esizukulwana sakho singazange sakubona ezifotweni kuthiwe nanku ke ugeliswa nanku ke lo mntu sesinjena nje sesilapha sifuna loo nto leyo ingabi kanti yinto enebala elithile le ibe kanti iyinto esikwaziyo nathi siyindlu emnyama ukuba masiyenze ke kuthiwe hayi iitrust ziyalalaza mntase zapha ekhayeni kutheni singenaba nazo kutheni singenaba ne-investments besides i-funeral policies esaloko sizithatha can't we have investment ezawuba luqilima ihlale phaa wonke umntana axhamle ne sizama loo nto leyo ke xa setha nge-generational wealth creation esakhe sithethe ngayo ke ngoku nolihle kaNqoyi sendimthumelele ke izinto zokungena azawukwazi ungena ngazo kwenzela uba umbone naye apha eskrini ke sithethe sibone uba sitheni na ndicinga uba ke namhlanje umcimbi esawuthetha ngawo how to build a fourth industrial revolution business ne kusijonge i-second wave ngoku uzawubuphi mntase ne uzawube uphi so ndifuna ke ube ready ngayo yonke le nto sikhololololo nto ne sikholololo nto leyo kwenzela uba sisixhobisane ngeento zonke and yes so sizakhe ke sizame ukufaka ke ulihle kaNqoyi nkqo enkqayini intsimbi yesibhozo let's quickly pay the bills sizokwazi ke ukumfaka kakuhle.
Yep. Score huge savings of up to 75% off Black Friday deals all month at Vodacom. What's more, get 6 months of Amazon Prime Video on us when you switch or upgrade. T's and C's apply. With Black Friday deals this good, you can connect for less, keep in touch often, and enjoy all the ways we're keeping everyone connected. Look out for more exciting November deals in store, online, and on the Vodafone store. While stock starts, stay connected. Ready? Vodacom. Need a pick-me-up? Score huge savings of up to 75% off our Black Friday deals all month long. Get the Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra on the Smart XS Plus plan, now only 949 Rand per month. Save a massive 6,000 Rand. Add 50 Rand per month for a Samsung Galaxy Tab A 2019 10.1 plus 2 gigs monthly data. T's and C's apply. Find more exciting deals in store, online, and on the Vodafone store. Ready? Vodacom.
Ready, Vodacom, are you ready for Lihle King? Kanqoyi esizake simamkele ngoku enkqubeni sive into bana usiphathele ntoni na. Good morning, Lihle.
Good morning, Mamzo kunjani?
Morning. Oh, Nkosi yam, bamba. Khona into endingayiviyo mna apha ezindlebeni. Ndibambele nje kancinci ndizokwazi ke ukuba ndenze enye inzame yoba ndikuve mna. Ndiqinisekile abaphulaphuli be-social crossover bayakuva bona. Ndim lo ungakuviyo. Yima ke mandilungise nje kweli cala. Mandenje nje mandilungise ngapha.
In the morning.
This is not our room. We got it's okay in every way.
All right, it is radio according to you. Ndingakhathazeke ke uba okavakali Lihle apha kum ezindlebeni. Good morning.
Good morning, Mamzo kunjani?
Right, akona kwinto endiyitsotsileyo phaa kulaa matshini ungaphaya ndizama ukuva ndikwazi ungakuva. Ndiyitsotsile. Ndiyakudala bendikushiywe nosilk apha nenza ubutyobo apha bendikushiywe nosilk nayibamba and kuba ke abaphulaphuli bayayazi bakhona, so akuzuthi uba ndingekho ucaca uba izinto azizokwenzeka. Khabulaphulabulise ke abaphulaphuli be-social crossover khona abasebengenile bebulisa bebhalisa uphaphama sithi uthi sisonke enkqubeni sisi wam uyolanda nathi phantlantsana ugibisele ihat apha kuwe ugibisele ihat apha kuwe.
Wow, thank you so much. Good morning to bonke abaphulaphuli. I'm super excited about today. Today we're going to be talking about how you can build a fourth industrial revolution business. We are living in a very important time, and I believe it's the most important time in the history of the world. And once again, I believe there has never been a better opportunity or a better time to build and create wealth than now. There's a killing happening, you know, there's a lot of wealth transfer happening, and it's you know, Robert Kiyosaki sometimes calls it, there's a lot of free money being handed over to those, you know, who are well positioned mentally, to those who are well positioned, you know, in terms of their businesses as well. So I'm super excited about today. We will be talking about how you can be able to build a fourth industrial revolution business.
Yep.
So yeah.
Wow. Ndithatha notes nami yabo mandikhangela notebook yam because nami ngiyafunda ndikuloo nto Yolanda simosha ke ngoku simosha. Ndiyafunda nami funeka ndilungise incwadi yami notes zam ndikwazi uba ndizobha. Mamela, how to build ke le fourth industrial revolution business ndinomdla kakhulu. Siqala ngaphi nasana kukhulu kwa eligama yonke nje into inkulu ithini Lihle?
So for us to understand the time that we are living in, we need to first understand the history, right? Now, we say we are in the fourth, but let's go back to the very first industrial revolution. Now, why goodness revolutions as in the Bible? As revolutions happen because as human beings, we always want something better. As human beings, we always want leverage. You remember what does the word leverage mean? The ability to do more and more with less and less effort, right? Today, you and I are able to connect online without necessarily being able to be in the same place because we are using this leverage that came in the form of technology, right? So that's just an example. Now, as human beings, whenever we sought or want to get to do better or improvise, you know, on our daily lifestyles and our daily way of living, there is always going to be a change. Now, before the first industrial revolution came, it was a job in the pusher a wagon. People used to, push wagons, to pull wagons, to transport goods from one place to another, right? Now, in the first industrial revolution, what then happened is that, when the discovery of combustion engine and when the discovery of what do you call the steel trains, trains actually, what happened then was that as our trains, your coal trains and the likes, when they were discovered, what then happened is that imisebenzi of these guys who used to pull or to drag, or you could say push wagons, were then extinct. Why? Because trains became more convenient, right? Using combustion engine became convenient because you could be able to transport goods, you could transport goods, and it cost less effort because a coal train does not get injured. A coal train does not get sick. It does not require monthly payments. It does not do a good job today and a lousy job tomorrow. It's consistent. And all you need to do is just to pay for the maintenance of it there. So then when that revolution came about, people lost their jobs. Now, the winners of the first industrial revolution were your Andrew Carnegie's, your John D. Rockefeller's, your Henry Ford. These are the guys who won first in the first industrial revolution, right? Now, then came the second industrial revolution. Now, what was the second industrial revolution? The second industrial revolution was the discovery of machinery, right? So let's make an example. If you go back 25, 30 years ago, it was an everyday job. It was common to have a domestic worker, right? It was common to have a helper at home, right? And that was at a time when, because our country was a bit behind in technology, because that was a time, where irons, were a new thing, and washing machines couldn't do, the job in 10 minutes. Today, a washing machine, I can literally wash the shirt and dry it within 10 minutes, and then wait for go, But back in the days, it would take me maybe 4 to 5 hours before I even think of wearing it, right? But today you can do it in the space of 10 minutes. That's why today we don't have a lot of domestic workers anymore, because machines replace them in the workplace. Today, we've got, what do you call this? Washing machines. We've got, this thing for uhlamba izita, dishwashers, yes, and then we've got irons and the like and so forth, So the winners of the second industrial revolution were the inventors of these machines, right? So also the winners of the second industrial revolution were the likes of Thomas Edison, the guys who discovered the likes of electricity, and also invented, a couple of other machines and so forth, right? So these are the guys who won in the second industrial revolution. And then came about the third industrial revolution, right? Now, in the third industrial revolution was the discovery of internet, in the third industrial revolution were discoveries of cell phones. Now, I want you to think of something. There was a time when his cell phone was as big as my head, right? Yeah. Whereby Bosch, you think of Siemens, you think of Nokia, yes, all these phones. Now, these phones, yes, Ericsson, yes. So when these phones came about, they were big and had these big areas, to help us get connected to the world. And guess what? When these phones were discovered, communication was then was done better, right? We were able now, which is to communicate. Again, it brought a threat first to your post offices, because communication at the time, we used to send messages or letters and communicate with people. Now we're able to call people. And then secondly was the discovery of emails, where you are able now to send a message or a letter that would have taken 3 to 6 months for you to even get a response from. Now you are able to get a response or get it to that person or the recipient within 10 seconds after you've pressed the send button, right? So you think about all these things, they brought a threat to people who are working in the post office, right? Today, ever since birth, I've never been to a post office all my life, right? Now I'm speaking about myself, right? I just turned 24, which means I've never seen was a post office all my life, right?
Sure.
Now, there's a lot of people who've been there and who don't even go there anymore. Why? Because today you can send emails. Today you can send a WhatsApp message to someone in Europe and they will get the message within 5 seconds after you've sent. Now, in the third industrial revolution, I wanted to notice something. The guys who came first, were your Siemens, and all these phones, right? They came, right? And most of them are nowhere to be found today. Right? You ask yourself, where are they? They are nowhere to be found. What happened to them? Change.
Yep.
They did not move with the times.
Okay.
It's a very important thing, this thing called change. Because if you do not move with the times, whether you are accepting the new technology or not, this new technology will still be imposed on you. Whether you are for it, whether you are against it, you actually do not have a choice. Now, this is one thing about change. It's that when you do not realize that you are sitting on a nail, right? But you are sitting on a nail. And the pain of sitting is not painful enough. Change will bring about the pain to the point that whereby you are the potential you are not using becomes extinct. I'm going to make a short example, right? Somebody will say, if I were to hold this cup, this bottle, right? If I hold this bottle for 10 minutes,
okay,
I'll start to feel that it is heavy. Right? Right now, Jamani Bandile, Akobunzima, and Dimune. But if I hold it for 10 minutes, I will feel it heavy. Now, if I hold it for 3 to 5 hours, it will become extremely heavy and my hair will start feeling weak.
True.
If I hold it long enough, I will never be able to use my hand. I will get paralyzed. Now, that is what happens when you don't move with the times. It's that your potential becomes paralyzed.
Sure.
Right? Which means, change is always detrimental to success. How you succeeded in the third industrial revolution is not how you're going to succeed in the fourth industrial revolution. Right? Now, I want to make another short example for you about companies that did not move with the times. Now, you will remember that not so long ago, Bekufika BlackBerry. BlackBerry came with the idea of smartphones. Right? The first time we had the word like smartphones, we came with the company called BlackBerry. Do you remember how everyone desired to have a BlackBerry? How everyone looked forward to have a BlackBerry, right? And that was around 2010, 2009, 2011. Where is the BlackBerry now? Almost nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
Who do you know who has a BlackBerry phone today? Right?
No one.
You get what I'm saying? And it happened within a short space of less than 10 years. In this one decade, they came and became adopters of change. And because they did not continue to progress, what happened to them? They came to where they are today. Right? Now, it is one thing to be an early adopter, right? You can create wealth by being an early adopter, but to maintain wealth requires one to constantly be in the game of change, right? Because what you need to realize about success is that success not improved upon will always be failure tomorrow. Right?
Yo, say that again.
success not improved upon will always be failure tomorrow. Right. You may have bought a Mercedes-Benz car 2010 or 2010, but if you are having it now, we don't recognize it. Why?
Sure.
Because it's not the latest anymore. Are you with me?
I'm
may
with
be
you.
a fan. You may be a fan of the latest, BMW today, but in 5 to 10 years' time, as the state alone, the team. So
Yes.
you get what I'm saying? So that's the thing about success, is that you need to constantly be on the game of change.
Sure.
Now, I want you to notice something. Now, the winners of the third industrial revolution were your Bill Gates, the guys who discovered Microsoft. The winners of the third industrial revolution were your Steve Jobs, the guys who founded Apple Computers, the winners of the third industrial revolution were your IBM. So it was this computer thing, right? And then came internet cafes and all this thing. Now, I want you to notice something also. Whenever there's a new revolution coming up, they are a threat to the current way of doing business. That's the first thing. They are a threat also, secondly, to the current way of doing jobs. Now, some moms, when you will remember it back in your time, that there was a time when people used to start. Right? There was a time when typing was something you started. Awesome. So,
yes,
so there was a time back in the days when you would study, typing. Well, typing was something that you studied, right? Today, you don't need to study typing. A child who is 3 years, 4 years, or a guy can type. Right? You don't need to go to school for it. It's part of our daily lives. Now, everybody who did not move with the times, now, I want you to notice something as well. There was a time, right, where it was illegal for people to learn about typing, where it was illegal for people to learn about, the skills that we are learning today, to learn English, right? Why? Because these skills opened doors. Now, we are in a time now where all these things are acceptable, but the game keeps changing. That's one thing. The game keeps evolving. The game keeps changing, right? Now, just recently, last month, I went to buy. I wanted to buy a tripod for my office and stuff at Musica, and I went to Promenade, in Cape Town, Promenade Mall. And I went around looking for music, a store that I used to buy consistently on an average 1 or 2 times per year. Now I was going to a store that was over Icon. And then when I get there, I am told that they closed. They closed the store down. Ask yourself the question, why? And I thought to myself, it is because the fourth industrial revolution.
Yeah. No longer.
Now, let me tell you,
people are no longer buying CDs. They download the music and that's it.
Sure. Exactly. Today, for me to watch a movie of any choice, I don't need to spend 180 to buy 3 DVDs anymore.
Or to go to
I can just subscribe. Yes, I can just subscribe to Netflix, pay Wi-Fi, and I'm done. And how much does that cost me? It costs me about 600 Rand or whatever per month. And I can watch any movie of my choice. The latest movies, the old movies. I don't need to own a copy.
Yes.
DVD. Another thing that you need to realize is that today it costs me less than 60 Rand to buy any album of my choice.
Sure.
So I don't even need to buy a CD. Even today's cars have USBs now.
Yes.
Today's cars, you connect to the Bluetooth, and you are done.
And you are done.
You understand? So, so you think about it, you ask yourself, a lot of businesses are closing down because we have come into a new era.
Okay.
We have come into a time where it is where you cannot just do, a mundane job or a mundane business. Now, I read a book, I think just under 2 months ago, and this book says the future is Asian.
Okay.
Right? Now in this book, I was learning Uguti, people in Asia, their kind of thinking is in being the leaders in the fourth industrial revolution through technology. So they want to invent the best and finest technology so that they can overtake the US. Right. Now, when I read that book, I learned about the processes that have been put in place, the plans that have been put in place for them to be pioneers of the fourth industrial revolution. Because, Mamela, we as Africans, we missed out on the first industrial revolution.
Yeah.
We missed out on the second. And we missed out on the third. Now, in the fourth industrial revolution, exactly.
Because now it's 10 years.
Exactly. Now, in the fourth industrial revolution, you do not even need to be an inventor to be a winner. In the fourth industrial revolution, you do not need to create or make a product or manufacture a product for you to be a winner. In the fourth industrial revolution, all you need to do is to reposition your mind to capture and maximize opportunity. That's first. The second thing is to reposition your business. Now, in the fourth industrial revolution, the first thing is to reposition your mind.
Reposition your mind. Yeah.
Reposition your mind, your thinking. The second, in other words, you need to tune your thinking for the opportunities that are available in this time. Right?
Yes.
Because we are in a season, and this window of opportunity for the average person like myself and you, we only have a short window of time for us to maximize this window before the big boys maximize it. When the big boys adopt it, it could be a little bit of too late for you and I.
Sure. So you need to reposition our minds. Our minds. Yes.
Second thing is to reposition your business. Now, I like this because in the first industrial revolution, you get to be a millionaire just for being a participant.
Okay.
So, in other words, you don't need to be the best right now. All you need to do is to position yourself.
Okay.
Positioning. So, in terms of which means now, and I want you to think about this. This is a very time sensitive. It's a ticking time bomb opportunity. If you do not move with the technology at hand now, you risk being out of business within the next 5 years. Giving you 5 years to be out of business.
Yep.
What happened to Kodak? Kodak used to be a leading company in terms of digital technology. I mean, in terms of photography and all. Where are they now? Right? Where are they now? Right? We spoke about BlackBerry. They own less than 1% market share. When they used to own over 50%, round about 2010, 2009 to 2012. Where are they today? Right? And you think about the companies that are coming up, you look at Hawaii. When Hawaii came up, you all know, only
yes.
It's one of those Chinese doors. Guess what? Today, they are one of the leading companies in technology. Today, when you have a Hawaii phone, you have a phone that is in tune with the times of today. Right?
Sure.
They actually invented the first 5G technology. Now, today, today you are able to win in business. You can sell your product anywhere in the world. And you can have your product delivered or shipped anywhere in the world within a period of 3 to 5 days. Anywhere in the world. Now, I want you to pay attention to something. So, all companies are now going digital. Do you know why? Because Google has your database. That's the first thing. Google knows everything about you. Facebook knows everything about you. Instagram knows everything about you. Your emails know everything about you. Now, these big companies came together, right? And they have this huge database of your information, my information, and every single activity we do on our phones. Today, if I could go and Google headphones for sale, right? I don't often Google headphones for sale. The minute I go on Google and Google headphones for sale, and I go on Facebook, what am I going to see? An advert of headphones that are available for sale. What does this mean? This headphone could be sold to me by someone in China who is sitting behind a cell phone and just use their data and their data and their and just advertise exactly to me as their targeted audience.
Yes.
Because they are selling a headphone. Now, in other words, if you as an African child are not going to be a pioneer in the fourth industrial revolution, your competition is somewhere in Asia. He knows everything about what's happening around you. And when I usafuna uthengisa estratweni ubathengisela headphones physically. Usafuna uhamba uyoma ezrobotsini usithi uthengisa headphones. You will soon be out of business. Why? Because today I can get this piece of a earphone delivered to me within 3 to 5 days at my doorstep. Now I want to tell you something. There was a time, wazasiqala ungena ku-mix it singabantwana. Abazali bethu babengamfuni mix it too. It was almost as if every conversation on mix it was unclean.
When I go.
Ibingathi xa kuthiwa uku-mix it wenza into embi. If uku-mix it ngo-10 ebusuku, exactly, wenza into embi. Yintoni ekuyenzayo ku-mix it? And we would be like, I was I'm chatting with my friend. Hi, and guess what? From mix it, figure WhatsApp. I remember my parents used to say, I will never be into abantu bangakwazi communicate nabantu. Uhleli nabantu sefonini you are on WhatsApp. Don't learn. And guess what? Our parents resisted WhatsApp. Who's on WhatsApp now?
Yeah, on WhatsApp.
Who's on WhatsApp now? They're on WhatsApp now. If you'd have told them, around 2000, 2005, that there will come a time when at your comfort of your home, you can order any burger of your choice or any choice food that you want, and it will be delivered at the doorstep of your house. With you not having made a phone call, with you having just communicated the phone and made an order without even going to pay physically, without going to draw money from an ATM to pay to that business. If you'd have said this to someone in 2005 and 2000, everybody would have said, you are lying.
Yeah, because that's what my mother said. That's what my mother said when she was asking me, Loza, what is this online radio? Hindoni londo sifuni frequency tinaifumaneka kubani. Did you no and I said to her, look, in 2000 or 2000, remember yongathenga manzi, right? Today you can't even drink water from the tap or from emlanjini, you buy a manzi. So it's the same thing into banangela xesha nansithi soze ndiwathenga manzi mna eqala uthengiso asawafuna manzi. And now same thing with an online radio. Everyone is asking, what is this online radio? And 10 years from now, 15 years from now, everyone will be tuning in with online radio station. There will be no frequency at all. Even the ones now, radio stations that are the terrestrial ones, they are still using the frequency. They are also, they have websites where you can tune in. They have, because they're slowly moving to online. They're also now using Facebook like we do. They're also using all the online platforms, meaning slowly, even if slowly but surely, they are moving away from to this side. Just like introduce online radio station, and everyone is like boom online. So slowly but surely we'll get there. So it's the same thing. If as a movie uzawushiyeka unkonye unomathotholo wakho ojijwayo ube ungakhali into ushishise.
Tell you what, you know what you're saying is so important. Because that is what is happening now. McDonald's, there is not even one McDonald's today that does not have la machine where you can just, you know, self-service yourself and order and pay from a machine. Now, whenever they go McDonald's, I ask the cashiers, don't you think this machine right there is going to replace you? But you know, about your by phone land, you know what? And I'm like, that's a guy. You can't resist technology.
You can't.
Ask the taxi guys. The taxi guys, most strike abancane ngeeteksi zabo. Sizawusebenzisa iBolt ne Uber inkani yento. Why? Because it's convenient, right? So that's where we are at. That's the kind of period that we are staying. Is that where?
So you are saying, Lihle, in order for us to succeed in this fourth industrial revolution, especially those who are in business, we must reposition our minds. We must reposition our business, meaning we must be ready and to embrace change, to embrace, to say times are changing now. What is it that can sustain? There's a looming second wave currently. And if we say business, there was a first wave of which we were all caught off guard and we were not really sure what's happening, and we didn't know about. So if you're in that business that was mostly affected, in where you were not in the forefront, you understand, you were forced to close down because people can live without, and you realize that your business is not a need, it's a want. Or people can live without doing a manicure or pedicure. What is it that you are doing now to make sure that come second wave you are operational, you're not closing down? What is it that you've done? Because awunakwazi ulala ngusomashishini izawufika second wave iyatsho ngoku. And now ungenza njani ukuba, because it is isizise apha singamane senze imizekelo ngento zakudala, masizise ngoku. We are living during the time ye-pandemic. Bekuvalwe kwanto, kuvalwe kwanezinto esasicinga uba ziphucukile. So check your business, check ingqondo le yakho uba already are you kwenza uba ungafumani uzibone kwi-position whereby you can't even operate because there's pandemic. And now ayakho mali didenda abantu uyibonile ku first wave. What is it that you do? Uthengisa estratweni isweets okanye umezi robotsini uthengisa headphones njengomzekelo ubuwenzile, uzazithengisa njani ngoba online? Because bezihamba ezi i-courier services and you deliver ibusiness yakho iqhube. Let me just quickly Lihle ungekangeni nje abaphulaphuli okay abanye bathi ndilate analyst yo zazisindeke zefone usiyalibonga nje ukuthi mamela nolunje nolikhona analyst afika izolo yesana umuntu ufika hambe namaxesha qwaba uyoshiyeka apho wedwa jonga ngoku silapho nani ixesha linye kodwa sikude like sisonke. Lihle is in Cape Town, based in Cape Town every Tuesday uthetha nam East London, and you can actually see Lihle's face ku Facebook wakho. You can hear Lihle ku app yethu njalo njalo. We're moving with times because we're an online radio, but abantu prefer ukuba basibone ebusweni, umuntu amazi ubebuswe radio ba unjani na angadibanisi ilizwi. Remember kwi radios were like you hayi xa kubona hayi yazi babe ngicinga mfama umfutshane bengicinga umde bengicinga ilizwi But now, yamazi ubhekise radio awunenhloko emhlophe unezimvi period. She has grey hair and between 6 and 9 unjena and people are recognizing me sendihamba emall sendihamba ba hi laws and wonder yabona lo ngicela ubona face was unmasked. So that's how things happen, and if you don't want to move with times, if you're resisting change, uzaba a problem.
Very true, moms. You know, so in this fourth industrial revolution, the first thing is that if you do not have an online business, you will be wiped out in 4 to 5 years.
Yeah.
Within 4 to 5 years, you will be out of business. Internet cafes, why do you need an internet cafe today? Almost
Not anymore.
I mean, everybody's moving into Wi-Fi. Today, phone, Word, document, Microsoft, PowerPoint. Why do I need to go there? Why do I need to print an assignment when I can do an assignment? Exactly, right? So that's the kind of time we are living in, right? So the question then is, reposition your business. Does your business have an online presence now? Does your business have an app? Right? Can you be able to deliver a product or service without having to move an inch? Let me tell you something. Today, there's a guy, hey, abantu bayenzile imali kwi-lockdown. There's a guy who was selling, what do you call this? Tripods.
Yes.
The lighting. He would buy them from Walmart, on Amazon and sell them 2 times internationally. 2 times the value. Now, I want you to notice something. The shipment was paid by the buyer. Now, let's make an example. So let's say, in rands that this guy was buying this product on Walmart for 400 rand, right? This dude would charge someone in the US or someone, outside of the country, right? For the same product, about 950 with shipment included. And which means this dude would make 400 rand for free for himself, just online. So actually, the funny thing is he wasn't even paying for the product himself. Listen to this. He just advertised the product online, a product he does not own. When you buy it, moms, you buy it to him 3 times the value. All he did was just to order the shipment to this company and then move it. This company would sort out the shipment. This company would sort out, the manufacturing and everything and send it to you. He made money by just ordering what you ordered. Which means today you don't even need capital to be in business. Your data and your phone and the right knowledge, as I said, gets you making money. Now,
Baba, it's 22:09, social crossover. If you've just joined us, welcome. This is social crossover. Every Tuesday we have because what you are doing here, we're trying, because the mindset here to take sine mentality dodobaliswayo safe engqondweni sihleli. So into esizamuyenza ukususa inkwethu sibone into mana tyhini lento ayinabala lithile into yobana kuthiwe ushiye utamkhulu wakho ushiye ibuilding eme phaa iminyaka ibhaliwe phaa nisikhe nimane niqiniseka nje uba ayiwi, you understand? So sizama into ezinjalo. So andifuni iphose le nto iba ngaba you are serious about ukuba ube kanti impilo yakho uzayiguqula ibe ngcono and uzawufitha kwi-decades ngee-decades ezilandelayo, phulaphula le nkqubo. Lihle, ndifuna sikhaleze sishwankathele sivale khona into ezingeke ndingekazenzi zekhaya kodwa ndicinga uba iyavakala. Nkosayitethi Emmanuel Yaleza uthi Khubisisi wam, let's change our mindsets, really let's change our minds, ingqondo indlela esicinga ngayo, the way of thinking, the way we see things. Check uba una opportunity unokwazi uyifumana apha because indlala yona ibhukile Annalisa afika izolo ne-CV sezahlala kwiifowuni wena ungafuni uhamba nexesha yohlala naloo maphepha asuke enza amaphepha
Awaphokeleli dust.
Okelele idatha because kuzawuba i-email ngosoyiprintile funeka ngoku uhamba uyowuskena funeka uhambe ngoku ube usenza zonke ezo nto ezo so masimuveni namaxesha and masizameni kanye into yobana kube sibe nezinye ii-streams of income yeba singahlali nje but nayo funeka ube relevant ungazithi uba uzawuthengisa i-orange ezirobhotsini because phambi COVID awuzufumaneka ezirobhotsini funeka usukile uzawuthengisela abantu so funeka ube nendlela yoba ubheke ube semgceni ube ngikhiphi ngesireythi ungashishizi you must be online be visible online khagqibezele ndisizoyidlala.
No, in closing, I want to say something, right? So, as I said, now more than ever, you need to be an early adopter of the changes.
Sure.
Now, in every industrial revolution, it's the early adopters who get ahead just by positioning. Everybody else will catch up with you if you do not move and continue. And when they catch up, they leave you. There's power in momentum. There's power in momentum. So what I would say, read the books, study the fourth industrial revolution. Right? We've made a few examples. We can't discuss all the ideas in the world as our business. You need to go and study this thing because success is a personal responsibility. Lastly, just the last words now. If you do not get your business online within the 5 years, within the next 5 years, you and I can make it, you will be out of business. You have less than 5 years to make sure that you position yourself. 5 years from now, abantu who don't catch up, who don't move now, will be aiming at catching up with you. The big boys will be spending millions of money advertising not on TV, Facebook and Instagram. So when the big boys start spending millions there, you will be out. Today, you can spend 100 Rand on a Facebook ad and get your ad to be seen by over 4,000 people. Yes. But now, with your 100 Rand budget on marketing, competing with Coca-Cola that have millions in budgeting, who outweigh in 5 years.
Khandiyeke lihle man because umntana otheni lo mncinci ke lo mntana uqoqendlebe mncinci 24-year-old ibali lakhe zumkhangele lihle King Ngcoyi he owns kabachazela
I'm currently the president and chairman of the Employer Empire. We've got properties in 3 major cities. We are operational in 6 major cities. So I am a property investor, a serial entrepreneur. You can get me on Facebook, Lisha King Boy. You can get me on my website. I'll be looking forward to connecting with you. Yes. First option.
Yayibona ke nto ndizithethayo abantwana ubafundise ngosebenzi nakho umzekelo 24-year-old drop out not that ndithi abantu mabadrophe out abantwana bangafundi but ndizama ubona xa ufocusile xa ufunda xa uyakwazi uachieve le nto uba wakubekele yona. Thank you so much lihle bazakhangela baphulaphule and lihle King Ngcoyi iphelele apho. Please remember sithe reposition your mind ingqondo yakho, the way of thinking, otherwise I'll miss your opportunities. Reposition your business, be an early adopter. There's power in momentum. Suma ndawuninye you know zama makubonwe kuwe ne uthi ubhudvukile nondimba ke wana molendoze kwesikakhulu ngosiphakela nokuvusa ingqondo zethu konke kusezandleni zethu eCape Town yena yeah Annalisa uthi ayiyo yayiva yiyo injalo jonga kanilandele lo mntana baphulaphula lusana onyamva ukuthi mama kanilandele lo mntana nimlandele inisi into bandicela mna qala ndisistudent sakhe ningathi ke ndenze ngeyeza ndithathathile apha ndiphumele kuthiwa hayi animazi ndilandela lo mntana mentorisha kulo mntana so uzizele lo favor nawe ke ukhangela abantu abafana nolihle Ngcoyi. Thank you lihle, bye bye ngoku, bye bye. Thank you lihle, masibona next Tuesday. Thank you so much. That's lihle King Noyi esimbambile apho ke Mphulaphuli is based in Cape Town wenza into esezahlule ezanto sicinga uba sinawuzi abantwana abanawuzenza. All right, it's 8:46 kwiSocial Crossover. Sikhawuleze ke sijonge umcimbi i-birthday isekhona ekhona bendiyaleziwe thiza wam ngasikela Mphulaphula aphinda ndibhalele because kwesa slide kwesa screen sokuqala ndingenaso ngoku apha phambi kwam. Makhe sikhawuleze makensela amanzi izoba right yaqonda. Yes, makensela amanzi kudala siphethe lo mcimbi masenjenje.
Need a pick-me-up? Score huge savings of up to 75% off our Black Friday deals all month long. Get a Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra on a Smart XS Plus plan, now only 949 Rand per month. Save a massive 6,000 Rand. Add 50 Rand per month for a Samsung Galaxy Tab A 2019 10.1 plus 2 gigs monthly data. T's and C's apply. Find more exciting deals in store, online and on the Vodacom store. Ready? Vodacom.
November is Men's Health Awareness Month. We stand in solidarity with organizations that work in promoting physical and mental health awareness. At KNR, we care.
At KNR we care siphathela zonke izinto esiqinisekileyo into yobana noko kulena awunanga kheki awunanga chola awunanga bhaqe awunanga fumbathi awunanga bheki phambili ngoba into esifunayo ngabantu abakhekayo ngabantu abakwaziyo ukuba baphuhle ekucingeni abasekwenzeni izinto. All right, phambi koba siye kwi-birthday zethu manijonge nje into yobana kwenzeka ntoni kumaphephandaba, what's happening around ngale mini yanamhlanje. Sowetan Live, it's been hell. Hawks spokesperson says as he resigns after 4 years. Yey, mninzi ukugqampompo wenzekayo. It's been hell. Mulawudzi under fire, over 3 million rands funding. Wow. Sowetan Live, there are growing calls for the Hawks to investigate its former national spokesperson Hangwani Mulawudzi, who quit yesterday after weeks of damning allegations about the 3 million funding received from National Lotteries Commission. Mulawudzi tendered his resignation, claiming a lot of people wanted him out of the elite crime busting unit. The last 4 years have been hell for me in this environment, and I think it's about time that I move on. I'm a human being. I'm not a robot. I've been taking blows left, right, and center on a daily basis. I've been called names, he said, close quote. Mulawudzi's foundation was given the money to establish sports center in Mashamba, Limpopo, but the money was allegedly used to fund other activities. His resignation came after the DA alleged that a social development internal document revealed that Mulawudzi's foundation failed to submit annual reports and compliance documents since 2018. He has denied the claims. DA Shadow Deputy Minister of Trade, Industry and Competition, Ahmed Cuthbert, said last night that there was strong prima facie evidence against Mulawudzi, which called for an immediate investigation. The DA had questioned the funding of Mulawudzi's foundation, saying it raised a conflict of interest as the Hawks were probing 4 alleged corrupt projects linked to the National Lotteries Commission. That story ke siphaya kuSowetan Live ungasifundela uzigqibezelele zininzi izinto. Also News 24, Ramaphosa calls for restraint after Frankenfeld parents trade blows with EFF supporters. That's News 24. President Cyril Ramaphosa has described the confrontation outside Frankenfeld High School in Cape Town as deeply regrettable and has called on all parties involved to act responsible. Sifike njani apho? Mongameli ke uthi ayiyo ayinje xa izawulunga izolo ke Frankenfeld residents and EFF protesters as yazadibana ke when the party protested about private event held at Frankenfeld High School. Parents that was allegedly only attended by white peoples. Yeah. Video footage showed angry members of Frankenfeld community and EFF protesters facing off after a heated exchange. Punches were thrown at this time, most important and difficult time for matriculants, not only at Frankenfeld High School, but around the country. The spectacle of parents and protesters coming to blows at the school gate is deeply unfortunate. It is the right of every South African to engage in peaceful protest, and any actions to suppress the right of freedom of expression, particularly through violence and intimidation, must be roundly condemned. I wonder, phefumlile ke no Premier Ellen Windy kwele esithi is deeply disturbing. Wasithekshela ke elonqaku pha khona ke nemifanekiso yayo on News 24. Also on the Eyewitness News, it says same story. Brankenfell High violence brings back hateful memories of SA's past. Kutsho ke uRamaphosa. So kwenzeke loo nto leyo pha Brankenfell zonke nje ndabona ngokumcimbi ujongwe apho. Those are the latest news. Ininzi nje into eyenzekayo. DA under fire for comparing FF with Nazis after Brankenfell school violence. That's what is trending at this hour. And also on the Eyewitness News, Naptose, teachers shouldn't feel pressured to invigilate COVID infected matrix. Yeah, moving right along. Let's check any newspaper. 8 minutes before 9 o'clock. I'm about to leave shortly and make a way for the Aftermath team. Yeah, so all the newspapers now, Lomcimbi was Brankenfell, Ramaphosa warns against racial polarization after Brankenfell violence. All right, let's quickly do birthdays. Let me update you. You're in and around the country. Let's quickly do birthdays. Good morning, Matabele Land. Yes, I'm doing fine. I was wondering, where are you? How's the weather in London? Matabele Land is based in the UK. He is a South African based there doing some work, and we're very proud of you. Thank you so much for lifting the flag of South Africa wherever you are, and all the South Africans that are around the world working so hard and to make sure that Ikan is represented well there. We applaud you. We really appreciate in making sure that you put South Africa in the map. I know Manyamazwe, when they're looking at South Africa or Africa as the whole, they see as that jungle and Zimbi. But I know we are there to make sure that all right, 6 minutes before 9 o'clock. Birthdays. Sibangubani ozalwayo namhlanje. Ezinye nezinye ke benuthembise ngaso singakwazanga ukuzenza sakuphathela wethu ngomso. Let's do birthdays. Sijonge ba ubani ozalwayo namhlanje. Sizovala iqubo. Tata Martinus van Schalkwyk was born in 1959 in Polokwane, South African politician. Dennis Zimba, 1988, was born, an actor, South Africa. Lee Langeveld, 1986, was a Stellenbosch and Cape Town Association footballer. Uras Dumisani was a French musician, 1973, walbona ilanga ukantike. SA's ultimate brand ambassador 2013, Umaira Manganye, 1986, was a Pretoria. Where else? A cricketer, Justin Dill, was a Port Elizabeth here in the province of the Eastern Cape. Facebook. Tabisa Zamashozi Gabisa, Tobani Zibaya, September Kakaza, Shepherd Golano, Ace Mabusela, Ace Yamaske. He's part of the family because he used to have a show here on Keith Ngesi Radio. But Tapsilun Deleni, Naye, Uzanele, Zenande, Ngwenya. Happy birthday to all of you. Rebecca Jane, yes, I know Naye, she supports Keith Ngesi Radio Kakulu. Thank you so much, Mapula Puli. We really appreciate you. Ndao zonke enikuzo enipulapule nikuzo, and may the good Lord enlarge your tents, may he enlarge your territories. All right, yeah, man, go to Kengo. ngathi ndiyazibona. Sifikelela ke esiphelweni. This has been another edition of the Social Crossover, Tuesday the 10th of the 11th 2020. Dimnawe ngomso between 6 and 9 Social Crossover. My name is Nolovicha Uloza Wamamfene. Babes Radio, babes Kanamatotolo, babes wireless. Ne? Udabs wesikhululo ulolo bekumnandi ukuba nani bethu nani masidibane ngomso man nibe right nibe bright saniphathela ke another compelling content ngomso. I promise you each and every show yethu siyaqiniseka into yobana i-content yethu izawuba njeya ibe nomhluzi yabona ne ibe na that thing ibe na gravy ibe na marinade ibe na sauce kwenza into yobana uphume uchole something. Thank you baphulaphuli. Let's meet ngomso same time same website www.kithngesiaradio.com and also our Kenar app.co.za khona ku Google Play Store uzayifumana kube mnandi kube njeya senawarimandi yabo kutheni ndinento encithekayo sengu9 tendinalanti ngathi sesinuku thengathi ndiphefumula ngetrache now that I'm going home but ke akho ndibitheni kuzaba right sizaba sharp. Otherwise Kelly Khumalo uzawuthi ke empini ndishiya naye masibane ngomso. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye. Yes, Vavavoom, Lanto. Thank you so much. Thank you, Annalisa. Thank you, Andy. So thank you, Mantabela Land. Nonke. Thank you, Pufukile. Nonke Bapula on Facebook. We really appreciate you. And I know that those who host your watch party, who don't comment, but they share e-posts. Thank you so much. Siyayibona lonto leyo. Xa sifumana report ya weekly, kuyabonakala uba niyayenza lonto leyo. Ndiyathanda ke kakhulu. See you tomorrow. Aishishis.